Guys, can we hang out?
Yes, I need to spill everything.
Okay, come over.
Roma, my friend আসছে।
Okay, guys, can you believe we finally made it to the end of our podcast?
I can't. I personally can't because I feel like আমরা মাত্র কালকেই episode 1 record করছিলাম and এখন we are episode 7 the finale. Like, are you kidding?
It's it Time went by so quick. Do you remember exactly how this thing started?
I feel like it's time we give everyone like a look back at the season, at how far we have come and everything, everything that transpired since then. So, episode 1, that was like, I like saying it was like dropping the bombshell, because we came out of nowhere. Anthem, I don't think anyone in our circle could have seen this coming.
I don't think anyone did, honestly. And the response was quite overwhelming at first for all of us. And even before the episodes like dropped, right? I remember when we first dropped the trailer.
We had some, let's say, interactions, because the thing is, trailer ta dekhe, I don't think people exactly knew what we were going to talk about. Sure, they had an idea, oh, boys and Ashe, but not the specific vision of the podcast. And I think they just jumped to conclusions. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna be very honest with you. I just feel like they got scared. They thought we would be like dishing out at the pura
I think a
shotti,
lot
name
of
drop
people got
korbo,
scared.
bucho. Hey. And in my eyes, this is their way of just giving themselves away. I'm like, if you have never wronged us, you have nothing to worry about. If
Yeah.
you're scrambling right now, just আমাদের ট্রেলারটা দেখে, তার মানে তো দাল মে কুছ কালা hai, like deep down.
You know you've been shady.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Or else, like, why do you like you don't have anything to be scared about, right?
Exactly. If you haven't given us content to talk about on this podcast, there's nothing for you to be scared about. And so I think our first incident was আমাদের একটা mutual, someone we graduated high school with. What do you guys want to call her?
Let's call her Whisperer, because she's
I
been
love that.
whispering. She's been whispering.
I would say she has been talking very loudly. Whispering is a very nice
Mm.
way to describe it. But Jerifa, do you want to tell us what she was whispering?
Right. So this basically came out of nowhere because mane ততদিন পর্যন্ত she was kind of like forgotten history, right? So we have a mutual যেটা কি মানে I would say that mutual is like our recent mutual. আগে high school আমি চিনতাম না, but they know each other for like a long time. So ও হঠাৎ ওই মিউচুয়াল কাছে এসে she's like, oh my god, did you like look what Jarifa is doing? Like they need to grow out of this whole high school phase. Like they're basically stuck in high school. Um and I was like, this girl who is like going out to my new friends and she's like bitching about me. Like, is that not stuck in high school? মানে ওটা শুনে I was a bit thrown off, but yeah.
I agree. Personally, I think the road goes both ways. ঠিক আছে? If we are stuck in high school because we are talking about our life experiences, mind you, ঠিক আছে?
Hmm.
We are not just bitching about or like talking about random people, random tea from high school. We are talking about what happened to us.
Hmm.
তাহলে you are equally as stuck in high school because you're listening to us. You're consuming this content. ঠিক আছে? You can easily just scroll or you can easily just choose to not listen to us yap. But no, তুমি বসে বসে দেখলা ভিডিওটা and you were bothered enough. I'm going to use a phrase. এত চোদে তোমার ভাই যে you had to go out to a mutual, go out of your way to someone you know is also connected to Jerifa and be like, did you see what she's up to? Mind your own fucking business. If we are stuck in high school, so are you.
Right? But the thing is, I would understand যদি ও মানে হাই স্কুলের একটা পার্টকে যে বলতো যে oh did you see what they're up to, because এটা তো like আমরা করি, oh did you see what they're doing, but you go to someone who was not even part of our high school and then you're like, just because I know you know that person, this is what they're up to, মানে এটা কি মানে,
Oh,
you get it?
She did
Yes.
it to like 100%. She did it to like get to you, obviously, because like she needed the information to get across.
Also, respectfully, like I said, this is even before the episode 1 went live. ঠিক আছে? So I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea what we could potentially be talking about. How do you go out there and just accuse us of being stuck in high school? Because if I remember correctly, আমরা কি episode 1, 2, 3, তাই না? এই তিনটাতে we talk about আমাদের স্কুলের জিনিসপত্র, and then
Not even
for the rest of the
স্কুলের
season,
জিনিসপত্র. Not even স্কুলের জিনিসপত্র completely. Episode 1, 2, 3 was more about the stuff that we went through while we were in high school, like ওই period of time. It wasn't even directly, oh, স্কুলে অমুক এটা করছে, তমুক এটা করছে, এটা হয়েছে, ওটা হয়েছে. No, we were not bitching about other people. We were just talking about what happened to us, or the personal like experiences. And then ওইটার পরে we moved on to other stuff, right?
exactly. Because also another thing, Jay, you're right. Jay, these are things that happened while we were in like middle school, high school, all of those. And
Yeah.
EPSA, we were there for what, 12, 13 years? তাই না? That's a big chunk of our life. Compared to মাত্র যে 2 বছর আমরা এখন ইউনিতে কাটিয়েছি. So obviously we're going to have more things to talk about in the from those 12, 13 years of our life compared to the last 2, 3. Like that doesn't make us stuck in high school. আমরা যদি এখন 30 বছর হইতাম and then we were still talking about something that happened high school তখন this would have been a valid criticism. But anyway, আমার কাছে আমার just গায়ে লাগছে যে ভাই, like তোমার এত চুলকাইতেছে কেন? তোমার ব্যাপারে তো কথা বলতেছি না. Like mind your own fucking business. God, I thought that would be our just big major hate or whatever
Uh,
criticism. Little did I or
Freedom.
any of us we knew what episode 1 had in store for us. I mean, when I put out the episode and everything, trailer, reel gula, I thought আরে হ্যাঁ DPS এর মানুষরা তো কথা বলবে, আমাদের batchmates কথা বলবে. That's expected, obviously. We want them to talk. Now that we wouldn't be doing this. But it wasn't just the batchmates talking, and it wasn't just the DPS folks talking. Episode 1, it Loki blew up.
Highkey blew up. Because do you know 8,000 people, Numa? Let
I
me just say that. Do you know 8,000 people?
I don't.
Have you ever seen 8,000 people?
Amader. So, do you guys remember the reel that we made about cricketer and the char chakka hoi hoi? That is the
Mhm.
one that's like our most viewed so far, and
Yeah.
that just literally that blew up.
The number of
Maybe
shares on that one?
I know it has like 250 plus shares, and I'm like, I don't
Oh,
know
almost
250
300.
people.
Almost 300.
আমার ভাইকে যখন আমি এই নাম্বারটা দেখাইছি, আমার ভাই আমাকে বলে এগুলো কি বটস? Because he's like,
That's a
why
wedding.
are people
That's a
sharing?
full-on wedding. 300 people, that's a full-on
That's
wedding.
more than my wedding, bro. আমার wedding এ 150. That's আরো 100 জন বেশি। এত মানুষকে আমি চিনিও না। And they're sharing, which is so weird because for me, I thought যে it's only funny if you know like the full context, you know?
Yeah. They don't even know the context.
They don't even know the context. And it's like Manusha, you know, in a way, like, oh yeah, we were getting attention and views and shares. We also got a lot of hate comments.
Oh, we did. We did.
I think first day when the hate comments started coming in, I thought, I'm gonna be very honest with you, I thought it was cricketer mobilizing his troops because cricket like the fact you mentioned him and brought him up. So I'm like, oh no, guy লাগছে কি করব এখন?
শুরুতে না, it was like radio silence from cricketer and like his pura
True.
circle and everything. Pura একবার radio silence. So first এর দিকে যখন hate commenters we're like, oh, for sure him and his troops. পরে একদিন randomly, I'm minding my own business. হঠাৎ করে, so you know how Snapchat if someone like starts texting, you get the notification that like Dash is typing. And I haven't spoken to Cricketer this whole time, like since episode 1 came out, or even the trailer came out. I haven't spoken to this man. হঠাৎ করে Cricketer is typing. I panic. I'm like, এখন তো গালি দিয়ে দিবে, দুইটা গালি দিয়ে দিবে। এতদিন হেড কমেন্ট লাইক ট্রুপস পাঠাইছে, এতদিন ট্রুপস পাঠাইছে, এতদিন বাকিদেরকে দিয়ে গালি দেওয়া হয়েছে, এখন নিজে এসে ডাইরেক্ট গালি দিবে। আমি ভয় পেয়ে গেছি। I call Numa. I think Jarafa তখন was busy or ঘুমাইছিল, কিছু একটা করছিল. She wasn't active for a very long time. So I was like, I called Numa. I was like, Numa, cricketer is typing, and then she freaks out. We both freak out, and he types for a very long time, and we're just sitting there. We're like, shish, chop shish, ekhoni দিয়ে দিবে, একবারে মার দিয়ে দিবে." And then, to our surprise, he was just being so sweet. He was showing support and he was just like, podcast is not a very easy thing to pull off. And you guys, for some reason, have seemed to like pull it off very nicely. And he was just like giving us compliments and he just had all the nice things to say. And I just thought that was the highlight. She was like, ওইটার পর থেকে, so ওইটার পরে we realized যে if this guy doesn't give a fuck, haterরা কি বললো ওইটা তো গায়ে লাগতেইছে না. Because like the episode যাকে নিয়ে আমরা বানাইছি ওর কোনো problem নাই. He's out there like supporting us and বাইরের random মানুষ কি বললো ওইটা তো গায়ে obviously লাগছে না. ওইটার পর থেকে I think me and Numa kind of became too stable and we were like every time we would get a hate comment we would just like giggle and make jokes about it.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
I was a bit different. My reaction was a bit different. Cause আমার প্রবলেমটা ছিল এটা মানে এই তখন তো we were sure যে এটা random মানুষই ছিল, right? And তারপরে they were writing like I feel bad for the boy, I feel bad for the guy. Like the guy does not feel bad for himself. So I was like, এরা কি বলতেছে এখানে এসে? And তখন I think I was a bit angry too যে মেহের আর নুমা কেন they are not being affected এইসব hate comments because আমি তো আসলে এক্সপেক্টই করিনি যে এভাবে হেট আসবে এভাবে তারপরে I was like okay fuck this fuck that but with time I think আরো হ্যাঁ encouragement পেলাম and then I was like okay maybe haters are gonna
It's
hate
not so
but
bad. Obviously, haters are gonna hate. They're unemployed. They are unemployed. They have no job.
Yeah, bold of you to say you're equally as unemployed. But my point is, see, the reason why it's so hard for me to take haters seriously is first of all, যখন ওই যে বলে না ভাই ক্রিকেটারের যদি চোদে না তোদের কেন চোদতেছে ভাই আর second of all, I keep thinking to how I react whenever I see a video that I don't like or I don't vibe with, I find very lame. আমি কি করি? I just scroll away. When I can't imagine being this lifeless and having so much time in my hands. So when I don't like a video, I mean literally kind of comment boli je, oh my god, you guys are so unfunny. Personally, I have better things to do, so I just scroll away. I'm pretty sure people have been talking about us behind our backs.
Oh, yeah.
So my point is, if you guys call us lifeless, blah blah blah, whatever, আমরা কেন এসব করতেছি বসে বসে হাই তোরা কেন বসে বসে দেখতেছিস আমাদের যদি if we have too much time on our hands, so do you guys. The street goes both ways. This is what I want to say to every single person that comes at us. Second of all, I think honestly I wasn't expecting our videos to get this much traction from the get-go. And it was a bit of a hard adjustment. I thought যে কি 400-500 view হবে maximum reel গুলাতে where আমাদের DPS or circle will know about the podcast but not beyond that. So সেটার জন্য when the first hate comments started coming in, I think we were all just like a bit like একটু scared. Wait, what's happening? But then we realized that that's what happens when you get a bit of traction, you have the likes and you have the hate comments. But I want to note, Jay, I really appreciated the thing that Cricketer did, which is reaching out to us and letting
Oh,
us
yeah,
know.
yeah.
That was such a bold in the best way possible, which is so
Yep.
because it takes an incredibly secure and confident man to listen to three girls yap about him because it publicly. And by the way, maybe the general public doesn't know who Cricketer is, but for the most part, the DPS circle, at least some other batchmates, they know who Cricketer is.
Yeah.
And Cricketer knows who Cricketer is.
Cricketer knows who Cricketer is. And he was making jokes about it, which is like funnier.
Exactly. Like he really owned up to it,
Yeah, and
And
he
so
took the whole thing with like such good, spirit. You
Really?
realize how secure you have to be as a person
So
too.
that's how it should be,
Mhm.
তুমি তোমার গায়ে লাগছে না because this is in the past and everything. And mind you, we literally just dropped the bomb on him. He had no idea that we would just put him out in the spotlight like that, and that যে আমাদের ব্যাচের মানুষরা এইসবের ব্যাপারে কথা বলবে, ওর ব্যাপারে কথা বলবে. And he still had such an amiable, such a good, mature reaction. And if you draw contrast with his reaction to episode 2 যাদের ব্যাপারে ওদের reaction, তখন তুমি বুঝবা.
Men and boys.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
আমরা যে মানুষদেরকে আমাদের ফ্রেন্ড ডাকি, ওরা না আসলে they are immature, incompetent, and insecure man-child. That's the
Mm.
way I will describe them. And so what happened with episode 2 was, if you have watched it, you would know যে Chihuahuaর সাথে I was pretty good friends back at that time. And আমি কিন্তু চিওয়াওয়াকে, for the month leading up to the release of the episode, I dropped hints. I told him, maybe not at them directly, oh, we are going to talk about you, but I dropped hints, we are up to something, we are cooking something. And even when episode 2 or trailer ta dropped, he knew immediately we were going to talk about him. And I admitted, yeah, দেখো, we are going to talk about you. But again, he was my friend, so I'm like, but to me, when a guy knew enough, please, because we are just like, goofing around. We are very unserious. I only feel comfortable shitting on people if I know the other person can take it, and I tell him that I don't really genuinely mean the things I say podcast at it. And তখন না ও খুব, he's like, hey, I'm very excited to see তোমরা কি
I can
বলো
take a
এই
joke.
সেই.
I can
Oh
take a
yeah,
joke.
he can take a joke. Oh my god. Or হ্যাঁ, ওর skin অনেক মোটা, ওকে কিছু বললে ওর গায়ে লাগে না. This is the impression he gave off. And I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm so glad we're on the same page about this, We weren't on the same page about this. Because tell me why. Episode 2, I think we dropped the first reel. And does someone want to say কি হয়েছে after we drop it?
We dropped it, and I think Chihuahua, from what I've heard from you, Chihuahua has been pretty quiet during the whole thing after your conversation with him. And acting randomly, I wake up and I'm receiving a call from Numa. And I think I was like, কি আর হবে? Like, at that point, mind you, আমাদের hate comments ভরে ভরে আসতেছে. So I was like, হবে নতুন একটা? And she's like, did you check the comment section? I was like, no. And I go there. It's from them being the circle. It's from them
Chihuahua
and
and Co.
Chihuahua and Co. And it's just a fat-phobic comment. Like in general, I don't want to go in details of what exactly it was, but just know it was a fat-phobic comment. And I think shurute amra, we were like, is this even real? Like, what is going on? Because these are, mind you, when I say Chihuahua and Co, even though by that point, I had nothing to do with Chihuahua. The other people, his friends, I considered them my friends. Numa considered Chihuahua her friend. And then for them to just for them to just make a fatphobic comment এইভাবে publicly, for them to be discomfortable doing it, just showed the type of like people they were. Kind of, because Numa tried her best. I think episode 2, she tried her best to like smoothen everything over. Like, this is all in good fun. Even she talked to Chihuahua about it. Like, we're doing this. And then she hoped everything would be fine and she can still be friends with them and all of that. And after they pull that thing, fatphobic comment is where we draw the line. And for people who we thought were our friends, for them to just do it randomly, that was like such a big slap to the face. Since the comment was not done from Chihuahua personal account, but from their group account or whatever you want to call it.
Which included
Circuit, whom I considered my friend. And
Even I thought he was better than that. Like, this was unexpected from Circuit and Officer.
Yeah. Officer, I was not friends with him. I really wouldn't have anything to say about Officer, but the circuit thing, I think that did affect me quite a bit. And I was like, if he is so okay, just because Chihuahua decides to do this, or like someone makes a decision that they're gonna do this, and he is like on board with it, that just means he does not value, like, I hope, you know what? I just hope it was worth it. I just hope it was worth it dropping that, like, laughing for 10 minutes over this. I hope it was worth it. That's all I want to say.
So হ্যাঁ,
Mm.
the thing is, আমার পার্সোনালি লাগে যে মানে অপিনিয়ন্স নিয়ে হিট করা এটা করাই যায়, because like okay fine, আমাদের thinking it's not clicking, আমাদের humor it's not clicking, এটা দিয়ে তো বলাই যায়, okay, but like why would you target someone for their appearance? Like how shallow do you have to be to do that? মানে আর কিছুই পাও নাই তুমি কমেন্ট করার জন্য, because see ওরা তো কমেন্ট করতে পারতাম না, because মানে যেটা বলতেছি they know it's true, so ওরা কি নিয়ে বলবে, they will have to attack এইভাবে।
এইটাই, ইউ নো ওয়েন মানুষের বলতে পারে যে ও তোমরা যদি মানুষের ব্যাপারে কথা বলো, ইউ হ্যাভ টু বি প্রিপেয়ার টু হ্যান্ডেল ইট ওয়েন পিপল টক অ্যাবাউট ইউ। এন্ড আমার জিনিস হচ্ছে গিয়ে হ্যাঁ, টক অ্যাবাউট আস, টক অ্যাবাউট, লাগলে আমার কমেন্ট সেকশনে এসে বলো যে ইউ গাইজ আর সো আনফানি, বলো যে তোমাদের কন্টেন্ট অনেক লেম, আই উইল বি এবল টু টেক ইট, ঠিক আছে? We did not say a single word about তোমাদের কারোর appearance because you guys are our friends. ঠিক আছে? Circuit, Chihuahua, varying levels of closeness, obviously, but like you guys are our friends, and there are certain lines and boundaries that you just don't cross. I'm gonna talk shit about you two-timing my friend, heh, but I'm not gonna talk shit about your appearance because that is disrespectful. ঠিক আছে? Maybe তোমাদের কাছে না and your fucked up sense of morals, but আমার কাছে that's disrespectful, and I can take a joke, but I can't take disrespect disguised as a joke. And this comment was exactly that. This comment was disrespect. তার
No,
মধ্যে
but men,
publicly এরকম করে।
exactly, men be thinking যে এসব fat phobic racist jokes মেরে it's like dark humor and they're being like cool and like whatnot, but in fact it is not, I'm telling you.
Their dark humor is just making fatphobic comments or jokes, racist jokes, and living off someone's money. That's all that it is. We're not gonna name names, Jay, living off whose money, but living off someone's money.
But that happened, and I think I'm not gonna lie, we were একটু upset with our pore because we just
Yeah,
never saw this coming from people we considered our quote unquote friends.
yeah. And তখন, I think we just collectively made the decision, Jay, enough is enough. Like, there is obviously a certain line you don't cross. And you have Jane Buche crossed it. It's normal, because no, there obviously this is your standard of jokes or whatever. But like, time and place for everything, right? And that was the point when I think the three of us just decided, Jay, we are gonna just cut them off.
See the difference between them and cricketer. দেখেছো? Cricketer complimented us. আর এই ফ্রেন্ডগুলা চুপ থাকে নাই, rather they went so low that they made a fat phobic comment, not even a regular hate comment, a fat phobic one. So kudos to you guys. I hope it was so worth it, just ruining, you know, for some people অনেক বছরের friendship. So but onto a brighter side, যে বললাম না যে আমরা একটু একটা স্লাম্পে ছিলাম এই বিট্রেয়ালটার পরে, whatever, something just brightened up all our moods এটার পরে। মেহের, do you want to tell us the story of কি হয়েছে?
Yeah. So again, I was minding my business.
She always seems to mind her business.
I'm always minding my business. But random একটা দিনে, this guy, he was not our friend, a classmate. We went to school together, right? Let's call him footballer.
Footballer?
Yeah.
Okay.
He texts me. And mind you, we're not friends. It's just মাঝে মাঝে কয়েকবার interaction হয় about like random stuff. That's all. This guy texts me and goes, so cricketer ke? and Officer K. And he's like doing all this. He's going out of his way to figure out Cricketer K, Officer K, Circuit K. And and then he's like just sitting there telling me, Jay, how much effort he put in to like figure out who these people are and how he like took random clues from our episode 2. He like watched it and then took random clues, and that's how he like figured out who those characters were. And
আমি একটু specific দিতে চাই to tell everyone exactly what he did. তো আমি during episode 2 I mentioned যে অফিসারের middle name নিয়ে একটা incident হয়েছিল। তো এই ফুটবলার মেহেরকে বলেছে যে in order to figure out who officer was, he আমাদের ব্যাচের লিস্ট থেকে সব স্টুডেন্টের লিস্ট থেকে he like
graduation.
filtered out, হ্যাঁ, আমাদের গ্র্যাজুয়েশন লিস্ট থেকে he filtered out যে কোন কোন ছেলের একটা মিডল নেম আছে, and based on that he narrowed down who officer could be. I don't think he knows who officer actually is, and I want to keep it that way. এই ছেলেটাকে আর বেশি কোনো আমরা ইম্পর্টেন্স না দেই, um but that's just insane work. That's a lot of dedication, bhai.
And it just makes you feel so appreciated when you know, Jay, you've put in like so much effort at like on your work, and people who are not even your friends, they're like putting in effort to like crack things and like find out more information and just interact with it, you know? So that
Yeah,
really cheered us up.
that really, exactly, that really boosted my spirits because I'm like, people actually care about our stories and about the content that we're putting it
Yeah.
out, you know? Because at the we were just like, for the most part, it was like, oh, hate and hate and hate, you know? But Eta, this was like, oh, there is someone out of our immediate friend circle
Yeah, yeah.
who cares what we have to say. So thank you, footballer, for being so unemployed that you did what you did. We appreciate you so much.
We do.
Yeah. Now let's talk about episode 3. Episode 3 was like a mixed one, you know? It was like, it had its happy moments, it had its sad. Kano sad? I want to start with the bad part first, which is when I put out that clip about how excluded I felt Meher birthday party te, a lot of people, I think, they either felt sympathetic or maybe they saw reflections of or parallels with their own life experiences, because I think that also got a lot of traction, Uy Realta. And it's so sad when you think about it, যে এই মানুষদের in like different parts of their life they have had to go through some similar like bullying, exclusion, and all of that. And I know I mentioned, oh, you know, it's all in the past, I've moved on, Aishay, but I never really realized how bad my experiences were until I heard it from a third person perspective. What do I mean by third person? Amar একটা friend, again, these are people we graduated with. After episode 3 came out, সে আমাকে text করলো যে Numa, who were the mean girls that you talked about? Where she says কয়েকজনের নাম. She was right, of course. And I'm like, I will neither accept nor deny any sort of claims. I'm like, আমি আমার lawyer ছাড়া কিছু বলছি না বাবা। তো কিন্তু ও যখন, but she is smart. And I just want to give her a nickname. Let's call her Blair Waldorf. She'll know exactly why. But so Blair তখন আমাকে বলছে যে she thought she was a mean girl during school, but এসব শোনার পরে যে আমরা যে মেয়েগুলোর ব্যাপারে কথা বলেছি ওরা কি করেছে আমাদের সাথে, she's like, আমি তো ওটার কাছাকাছিও আসি না, যে ওরা তো এটা এত বুলিং আমি কখনো করি নাই। And ও যখন এটা বললো না, I'm like, okay, so it wasn't all in my head. It's not just me being dramatic or just like exaggerating. They really were very shitty people. And it was nice to get that external confirmation, you know, from a third party, they indeed were shitty people. So yeah.
So I think episode 3 was the part where people actually asked us, they started relating to us, and it was suddenly we realized it was not just people from our circle or another batch. It was much more bigger than that. Because mind you, episode 3 or we birthday episode, that's like our second most watched, right? And ওখান থেকে the outside interaction started, because এতদিন the outside interaction was mostly যে একটু একটু hate comment এক দুইটা করে, that's all. But then ওইটার পর থেকে I remember episode 4 বের করলাম, episode 5 বের করলাম, and those were very sensitive topics.
But I just want to add one last thing. Something funny that happened with episode 3 was I have my notifications on Instagram. And একদিন সকালে আমি ঘুম থেকে উঠেছি, I turn off my D&D ফোনে, and এখন সব নোটিফিকেশন দেখছি রাতের বেলায় কি কি জমেছে। বললাম না এপিসোড 3 তে we talk about some mean girls, ঠিক আছে? তো ওই গ্রুপে তো অনেকজন ছিল। Tell me why I see যে one of those girls liked a reel, one of the reels from episode 3. And so আমি জলদি গিয়ে I click on the notification to see যে which reel was it. দেখি আর ওই রিলটা দেখাচ্ছে না, which means she like accidentally clicked on it, you know. But it's not the like that matters, it's the point যে it reached the target audience.
Do they know it was about them?
Is there any way they don't know? It doesn't take a genius to figure out we were talking about them. বুঝছো? তো আমার
Yeah.
কাছে just funny লেগেছে যে, oh, so you watched it and I have confirmation that you watched it. So that was just like, hee. So yeah. But Meher, you were talking about episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4, I think the support kept growing, and we were, I think episode 4, there was this one girl. We don't know. Random girl. হঠাৎ করে we wake up একদিন and suddenly আমাদের comment section there is এত বড় একটা paragraph. Just her talking about her experience. I think it was something of like a parents সাথে relationship. That's what we did episode 4, right? And I think we pointed, we were like, this is so much more bigger than just us sharing our experiences. It's also about other people just feeling seen. They were not like the only one, because a lot of people don't talk about Aishab experience at openly, at publicly.
I was gonna say I felt weird putting episode 4 out. Not about being vulnerable, because episode 3 তে তো
Mhm,
I'm like, oh, I'm a loner. We vulnerability I already put it out. But episode 4 we talk about our insecurities, you know, and like the trauma and everything. And that is just a whole other like level of vulnerability. And I'm like, I don't know how comfortable I feel putting it out on the internet, just like bearing my soul out এরকম করে to strangers. But তারপরে like Meher said, like seeing how people were like, oh my god, like my mom did the same thing, my mom body shamed me too, or I've had similar experiences. Seeing that, it just felt in a way so comforting to know যে this didn't all go in vain. You know, me putting myself out on the internet like that, এই যে এই মানুষদেরকে to make them feel seen. In return, they made me feel seen. They made me feel like, you know what, Numa, like you are not going through this alone. Like this is a canon event. It's a collective experience. And I started feeling that bond with our audience. We're in this together, you know? And that
mhm.
was nice. That was nice connecting with girls. ওই লেভেলে and I wanna say this যে যারা কমেন্ট করছিল, it also takes a lot of guts এরকম কমেন্ট করা publicly to be like, oh, you have body image issues, guess what, me too, girl. And again, we are all strangers, I don't know them, they don't know me, but they're sharing this. It was just so nice. I just want to say,
It was.
if they're watching this, we really appreciate you guys.
Yep,
Just
definitely.
and this trend kept on happening, which is we would put things out and people would relate. Jirako, when episode 5 happened and we put out the wedding guest, that was just me being like a snappy, একটা খুব privileged একটা kid. I'm like, oh, me এরকম চাই আমার বিয়েটা. I was just shit talking about my relatives, bro. I didn't think মানুষদের এত বাজে experiences ছিল, but people started saying যে how everyone has had bad experiences with guests. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, আরে ভাই বাঙালি জাতিটাই তো দেখি মনে হচ্ছে খারাপ। Like কিভাবে? তো লাইক তোরা বসে বসে বডি শেম করিস নিজেদের মেয়েদেরকে, তোরা গেস্টে হয়েও তোরা এত ক্রিটিসিজম করিস, লাইক তোদের কি ফেভারিট কাজই লাইক গিবত করা? লাইক ইজ দ্যাট ইয়োর
হ্যাঁ,
ফেভারিট job? আমার একটা ফানি জিনিস হয়েছে এপিসোড 5 এ। So there was this one reel. Do you guys remember যখন আমি বলেছিলাম যে I want a বাংলাদেশি guy এসব এসব রিজনের জন্য?
Yeah.
yeah.
তখন না ওটা দেখি একটা ছেলে হচ্ছে কি আমাদেরকে কমেন্ট করে ফার্স্টে ওই রিলটার আন্ডারে লাইক রেসপেক্ট এরকম কিছু একটা কমেন্ট করে, বুঝছো? ওকে, কমেন্ট করলো ভালো। ওইটার পরে দেখি আমাদের অ্যাকাউন্টটাকে ফলো করলো, লাইক গল্প but it's true অ্যাকাউন্টটাকে। I'm like, okay, yay, support, love to see it. When all of this was happening, আমি না আমার ফোনে ছিলাম, ঠিক আছে? So I was seeing it happen in real time. And then literally less than like 10 seconds later, I see that same guy send me a follow request in my personal account. And I'm like, dude, you need to calm down. Um, and it was just so funny given the context of the reel, because it's like,
বাঙালি ছেলে বিয়ে করবে, বাঙালি ছেলে চলে আসছে বিয়ে করতে।
exactly. It was giving like which है किसको है ये तुमको इंतजार मैं हूं ना. That's what it was giving, you know. Like that's so funny. So so I just want to say, like, I feel like throughout the whole season we have had like so many moments like this. Like, you know, we have had the which hate comments and being like put off. তারপরে we sentimental moments when we're connecting with all these
By the
people,
way,
and then we have all these like bakchodi light-hearted ones.
by the way, this whole time যে আমাদের এই সুন্দর সুন্দর সাপোর্টিভ কমেন্ট আসতেছে, don't think hate comments বন্ধ হয়েছে by any chance. ওগুলো আসতেছে, but by this point, because of the amount of validation we got from other people, we would just make like jokes, worse jokes. ওরা কি জোক করতেছে আমার উপর, আমরা নিজেরাই হচ্ছে ওটার উপর আবার we're making double jokes and then আমরা হেসে ওখানে বাঁচতেছি না. That's what we're doing most of the time. So if any of you are hating, just know we are laughing at you too. But
Most of the hate comments, I would say, were just fat phobic ones. Like literally, আর জানো আমার না কেন fat phobic গুলো আমার গায়ে লাগা বন্ধ করে দিছে, except for episode 2. If the worst thing you can say about us and our video and our content is just calling us fat, then that means I'm doing a good job, because you're not calling us unfunny, okay? You're not calling us lame. You're calling us fat. If that's the worst thing you can say about us, be my guest. ঠিক আছে?
yeah,
And one joke I want to bring up about the hate comments was আমাদেরকে না মনে হয় কি ফ্রিজ ডাকছিল or something, যে একজন কমেন্ট করছিল it's always the fridge, you know, because the phrase is it's always the fridge protecting the snack. So when we saw the hate comment, we were like, যদি আমাদের মধ্যে একজন ফ্রিজ হয়ে থাকে তাহলে who's the snack? চান্দু, like tell us, you know?
and then at one point না এই fridge শুনতে শুনতে, because এরকম 2-3 বার আসছে this fridge comment. I was like, ভাই অনেকবার শুনছি, আমি তো আর fridge হবো না. I want to be a different appliance এবার.
Microwave.
Microwave. Call me something else. I don't want to be a fridge.
So yeah, it's like we should বলে না, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, bhai. So this was us making lemonade. So if we can't stop the hate comments, at least we can make fun of the hate comments, okay?
Yeah.
And then এসব করতে করতে এসব ফালতু ফালতু জোকস বানাইতে বানাইতে we reach episode 6. আর ওইখানেও এপিসোড 6 এ আমি তো ভাবছি আমি তো মজা করতেছিলাম ভাই, আমি তো আমার রিলে আমি তো বলতেছিলাম যে আমি একটা মুরগির খাঁচায় বাংলাদেশে আটকায় ছিলাম, আর তারপরে এখন ইউএসএ তে এসে আমি I'm experiencing freedom. Me with this whole podcast was me being very unserious. If you know me, you know my go-to line is it's never that serious, it's never that deep. But I think it was that deep for some people. কারণ একটা মানুষ একটা খুব বড় আমাকে একটা হিস্ট্রি লেসন দেয় কমেন্ট সেকশনে। আমি যখন বললাম যে I felt more free and liberated ইউএসএ তে, কারণ আমি রাস্তার মধ্যে একা একা হাঁটতে পারতাম। আমাকে বললো I am being brainwashed, যে this is the US government paying hundreds and millions of dollars বাংলাদেশের গভর্নমেন্টকে to
Propaganda.
কি জানি propaganda, বুঝছো, this is western propaganda, আমাদের my idea of freedom is very biased and skewed, এই সেই অনেক। ভাই আমি মনে হয় আমার ইংলিশ পরীক্ষাতেও এত লম্বা এসে লিখি নাই, ও যত টিকটকের কমেন্ট সেকশনে লিখলো আই এম সারপ্রাইজড ও ওয়ার্ড লিমিট হিট করে নাই, বুঝছো। কারণ আই এম লাইক ভাই, এগেন আমার না মাই গো টু লাইন ইজ এত চোদে, এত চোদে ভাল। আমি বুঝলাম না, আই এম লাইক আই ফিল লাইক a lot of the times we want to say a lot of things but we are like না না না, পাবলিকলি বলা যাবে না, মেইন অ্যাকাউন্ট দিয়ে বলা যাবে না, because we're like oh we have to have like a brand image, you know. কিন্তু I am telling you, my go-to response would have been I'm happy for you or sad that it happened, but I ain't reading all that because that's what it felt like at the work the essay, like lecturing me about colonialism, you know, যে I should be more proud of my heritage. আরে ভাই আমি কি একবারও বলছি আই এম নট প্রাউড অফ মাই হেরিটেজ? ইফ এনিথিং সারাক্ষণ আমি কান্নাকাটি করতেছি আমি বাংলাদেশে ফেরত যেতে চাই হ্যান ত্যান, তুমি ওই 20 সেকেন্ডের রিল দেখে তুমি আমাকে বলতেছো আই হ্যাভ বিন ব্রেইন ওয়াশড। আরে আমাদের 40 মিনিটের এপিসোড আগে শুনে আসো ইউটিউবে বা স্পটিফাইয়ে, তারপরে তুমি এসে কমেন্টটা করো, এটা না আমার বলা উচিত ছিল। লাইক টাইপিং ইট অল আউট আই এম লাইক ভাই বুঝছি তো আমি আনএমপ্লয়েড, আমার সামার ভ্যাকেশন চলতেছে কারেন্টলি, তুইও কি আমার মতো আনএমপ্লয়েড? আমি না এইটা সবাইকে বলতে চাই যারা আমাদেরকে লাইফলেস জবলেস ডাকে, ভাই ইউ আর দ্য সেম ওয়ে, ইউ আর কাট ফ্রম দ্য সেম ক্লথ। ইস আশ্চর্য, আমরা যদি আনএমপ্লয়েড থাকি আমাদের অডিয়েন্স আনএমপ্লয়েড, ভাই উই আর আ ম্যাচ মেড ইন হেভেন, আই ডোন্ট কেয়ার হোয়াট ইউ হ্যাভ টু সে। um but yeah,
Other than that, there's like a lot of friends who have just been very consistent with their support.
Are we name dropping here? Or
absolutely.
we are, right?
They deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do, they definitely do. Especially my favorite, Alicia. You know, I've been like so like মানে কি বলবো, I was like so moved ওর প্রত্যেকটা comment দেখে, because she's been like consistently like saying like nice stuff on the comment section, and I was like wow, এই অন্ধকার দুনিয়াতে only you are the light. I was like wow, because see, unlike Numa and Meher, these hate comments really were getting to me, and I was like এইসব কি হচ্ছে, and I was like ah. But এটার মধ্যে Alicia was just like, you know, a ray of sunshine. I was like, wow.
Oof.
All I have to say is that's my best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own money, she don't need no something, you know. But yeah, like
Yeah.
my best friend is better than Tomader Gula, so that's my girl, you know. I expected nothing less from her, if I'm being very honest.
No,
like Ora Jerfa is so shocked, like oh my god she's so nice. I'm like duh, you think I hang out with losers? I mean obviously I do, looking at the two of you, but you know Alicia's a real one, so love
yeah,
you,
I should have
appreciate
been
you.
like friends with her. I would have been a better friend than Numa, hands down. Like, trust me.
Alicia, if you're watching this, that was Jarifa shooting her shot. Take her. Take her. Jarifa just shoot her shot.
Guys, please, no, I don't have that many friends to begin with. Please, Jerifa, find your own friends. That girl is mine. And I also want to give the biggest shout out to my family, my cousins. Oh my god, I love them to death. Like, I kid you not. From day fucking one, from the moment I launched the trailer, my cousins, they have been the backbone of Golpo, but it's true. I'm not even joking. Watching every single story, liking every single reel, and listening to all of the episodes. Like, I have a cousin, Jay, you know what? I'm gonna name drop. Bubuni. She listens to our episodes on Spotify religiously every Friday. And you know how I know she listens? Is she would tell me things, Jay, this would be like maybe like 30 minutes into the episode আমি এটা share করেছি or something. So it's not just real গুলা দেখছে, she actually পুরো episode শুনছে, and then she would like give me feedback on it or just like share her thoughts on it, and she would have the nicest things to say, and it just means so much. কারণ we put in so much effort into this podcast, even though it might not seem like it, but like filming, editing, putting it out there, planning the content themselves, and seeing people actually like consume it and liking it, it just means the world. তারপর আমার অন্য সব কাজিনরা, এই যে বুবু, Reeves, Tafib, they're so nice. And it's weird because it's like they don't even know, for the most part, all of these cousins or US at the থাকে, and they don't even know my life back in Bangladesh, age, the characters that I'm talking about, they have no idea who they are. They have no idea about my life in DPS. But that didn't matter. That didn't stop them from showing me support, from liking these reels. Who cares if they don't know the full context? This is my work. It literally takes 1 second to just hit like. And so I really, really appreciate you guys. I don't think I could have done this if I didn't have your support. No, I'm just super grateful. কারণ এক সাইড দিয়ে আমার এত কাজিন গুলো এত ভালো ভালো, বুঝেছো? আর আরেক সাইড দিয়ে আমার চুতিয়া ভাই, সে যখন আমি প্রথম আমাদের ট্রেলারটা পোস্ট করছিলাম ইনস্টাগ্রামে, you know what he texts me? He goes, আমি ইনস্টাগ্রামে এটা কি দেখলাম? This is so embarrassing. I am ashamed to be related to you. That was his reaction.
আসলে আমার
Okay.
বোনেরও এরকমই একটা রিয়াকশন ছিল ফার্স্টে ফার্স্টে, তারপর কিন্তু ঠিকই বলে যে আসো এটা দেখি এপিসোডটা। মানে এটা কিরকম ডুয়া দেখি আমি বুঝলাম না।
পোল্ট্রি সবাই আসলে পোল্ট্রি মারে, তোমরা থাকো পোল্ট্রি বাসদের সাথে থাকো, সবাই দুদিন পর পর পোল্ট্রি মারে। Speaking of support, there is this one specific girl who watches us.
That's the right word. She's always lurking, okay?
Always lurking.
But in a good way,
Let's
in a good
call
way.
her.
We don't know that. We
We
don't
don't
know
know
that.
that, exactly. Jurfa's nice and giving her the benefit of the doubt. Me, I'm not that nice. I don't know what her intentions are.
Yeah.
Meher, what do you want to call her?
Misty? Let's call her
Yeah, let's call
Misty.
her Misty. And she's always watching. Always. And you know what's so funny? Is it might seem like we're obsessed, but bhai, এটা আমাদের account. Of course we're gonna be obsessed with our account.
Yeah.
But this Misty, she watches every single story. I don't think she has missed a single story till date.
She doesn't
But
follow. She doesn't follow us. How is she? How is
It's
she?
it's it, it was never that deep, but yeah.
That's Jarafa doing damage
really,
control.
that really is, because it's like মিষ্টি হচ্ছে গিয়ে জারফার সাথে একটু কানেক্টেড, তো আমি ঠিক স্পেসিফাই করতে চাই না কোন ওয়েতে, বাট হ্যাঁ, সো জারফা হ্যাজ আ সফট স্পট ফর হার। আমার কাছে জাস্ট উইয়ার্ড জিনিস লাগে ভাই, দেখো, আই অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট ইউ টিউনিং ইন, ঠিক আছে, আই এম জাস্ট জোকিং অ্যাবাউট দিস, বাট ভাই তুই যদি আমাদের প্রত্যেকটা স্টোরি দেখিসই, তাই না, তাহলে জাস্ট ফলো আস এট দিস পয়েন্ট। তার মানে তুই
Support is
জানিস,
support
ইউ নো
in
যে উই
any
নো।
form.
And
We love it.
Misty, we see you, we appreciate you, but we're gonna appreciate you even more if you just hit that follow button. Like, what's stopping you, bro? Like, just do it at this point, yeah. Yeah.
She is never
And
watching us ever again.
we just lost one loyal story viewer, you guys. I'm so sad. Oh my god.
If you think you're watching us, we are watching you too. That's all I want to say. I love this. I love this whole thing.
It's been a fun season and fun time. And to just go like a whole circle,
Yeah.
back to how we started. The first reaction was, we are so stuck in high school and we need to move on. ওরা যদি ভাবে যে all we had to talk about was high school, first of all, we have already proved them wrong. We have so much more things to talk about than high school. But even then, if you think we have overshared, brother, we have barely scratched the surface. আমরা তো এত ফিল্টার করছি, এত কাট করছি জিনিসপত্র, because we are like, oh my god, that's like too much, or like এসব বলা যাবে না। But আমাদের তো, we have so many more golpos in store.
Maybe we will talk about it someday. And that's definitely Golpo for another season.
That's all for today's Golpo. If you're still listening, congrats. You now know too much, but definitely not enough.
Until next time, it's all fun and Golpo until the shotti kicks in.
এখন মাইক অফ কর ভাই, আমার চা শেষ।